She fed a stranger who looked poor, not knowing he was a billionaire. She opened her heart to a man who hid his identity. And now, after the truth came crashing down, Adora and Kai must face something far more dangerous than secrets. The world that tried to keep them apart. Part 2 begins where love is tested, jealousy grows sharper, and new enemies enter the scene. This is where the story transforms from kindness to destiny. Before we continue, please like this video and subscribe to this channel now so you won't miss our next interesting story. Kai did not return to the city immediately. Even after Adora accepted him again, he chose to stay close, quietly blending into the village while trying to rebuild her trust. But Adora lived in two worlds now. The familiar world of the village, where she sold food, greeted neighbors and lived simply. And Kai's world, a world she had never touched, where wealth flowed like running water, where cameras flashed and powerful people moved like shadows. She wasn't sure where she belonged. Some nights she couldn't sleep. Her mind wandered. Can I fit into his life? Will his people accept me? What if I lose myself trying to love him? Kai, on the other hand, had never been more certain of anything. The woman who fed him without asking who he was. The woman who saw a man before seeing his money. That woman was the one he wanted in his future. But the world outside the village was already stirring. News outlets were buzzing. Billionaire Kai Nwachukwu spotted in rural community. Is there a mystery woman? And in the Nwachukwu mansion, someone was waiting. Someone who didn't like the sound of mystery woman. Someone ready to destroy anything that threatened her plans. Her name was Enetio Okoye, daughter of the state governor. Beautiful, influential, feared. She had admired Kai for years. Their families were close. Their pictures often appeared in magazines. People whispered that they were destined to marry. But Kai had rejected her advances many times. When she heard Kai had gone missing for days, she panicked. When she heard he had been found in a village, she became furious. And when she heard rumors of a village girl getting close to him, her anger turned into fire. She showed up at Kai's main residence that same week, walking in like she owned the place. Kai, is it true? She demanded. Is there a woman? Kai didn't hide it. He didn't lie. Yes, he said calmly. And she means a lot to me. Kechi froze. Shock, disbelief, then wounded pride filled her eyes. You're choosing, she swallowed hard. A food seller over me? Kai didn't raise his voice. He didn't apologize either. Love doesn't count titles. Kechi's jaw clenched. You're making a mistake, Kai. And I don't forgive easily. Her heels clicked out of the mansion like thunder. A storm had just begun. Kai invited Adora to visit the city for the first time. Not to impress her. Not to parade her. But to help her understand the world he came from. The world that would someday become part of her life if she chose him. Adora almost refused. Her hands trembled as she packed her simple dress. Her heart beat too fast. Her stomach knotted like a rope. I don't belong there, she whispered to herself. But then Kai held her hands the day before they left. Warm, steady, reassuring. You're not stepping into my world alone, he said softly. I'm with you. His voice calmed the storm inside her. So she agreed. Arrival in the city. The moment she stepped out of the car, everything exploded at once. Flashes bright and blinding. Shutters clicking, hundreds of cameras. Voices shouting, reporters pushing forward. Kai, who is she? Is this the mystery woman? Rumors say she's from a village. Kai, is that true? Security guards rushed around them, forming a barrier. Adora froze, gripping Kai's hand so tightly her nails dug into his skin. This is too much, she whispered, her voice shaking. Kai leaned closer, his forehead touching hers for a moment. You're safe, he murmured. Just breathe. Ignore them. Look at me. And she did. His presence became her anchor. Entering the mansion. When the gates of Kai's mansion opened, Adora felt like she had stepped into another universe. The marble floors shone so brightly she could see her reflection. Golden chandeliers floated above like small suns. 2 sweeping staircases curled upward like something from a fairy tale. But there was no magic in the air. Only eyes. Dozens of them. Servants paused in the hallway. Drivers looked from the garage. Housekeepers exchanged quick glances. Some whispered behind hands. Some smirked. Some frowned openly. She overheard a sharp voice cut through the silence. "Village girl. Really? He brought her here." Adora felt her heart squeeze painfully. But Kai noticed. Without hesitation, he took her hand again. Openly. Proudly. He guided her gently through the mansion, showing her the art, the gardens, the indoor fountain, the quiet library where he escaped when life was too loud. He cracked jokes. He told stories of his childhood. He explained the meaning behind paintings and artifacts. Little by little, her shoulders relaxed. Her breath steadied. Her fear melted. By the end of the tour, she was laughing softly at one of his stories. And Kai looked at her like she was the only person in the world worth laughing with. Nightfall confession. Later, Adora slipped onto the balcony. The city lights stretched far below like a field of stars. Beautiful. Endless. Intimidating. "I don't know if I belong here," she whispered. Kai approached from behind, wrapping his arms gently around her waist. "You belong anywhere your heart chooses," he murmured. "And if your heart chooses me, then this world must learn to accept you. Not the other way around." Adora exhaled. For the first time that day, she believed him. Peace settled around them. Warm. Comforting. But peace never lasts long in the world of power. The knock that shattered everything. A sudden, sharp knock echoed through the mansion. Kai frowned. No one came to his private floor without permission. He walked to the door and opened it. Adora's breath caught. Standing there was Enetio. Beautiful, elegant, and radiating fury. Her eyes shifted immediately to Adora. Cold. Unforgiving. Threatening. "I need to speak to her," she said in a voice that sliced through the air like a blade. Adora's heart dropped into her stomach. Kai stiffened. And the storm that would challenge everything they had built had officially arrived. The room fell silent as Enetio walked in. Elegant, confident, dangerous. She didn't just enter. She claimed the space. Her heels clicked like a warning. Her perfume filled the air like a challenge. Her eyes sparkled with something darker than jealousy. Entitlement. Adora stood uncertainly beside Kai. Her hands clasped tightly. Enetio's gaze swept over her. Slowly, deliberately. From her simple braids to her faded dress. Then she smiled. A smile sharp enough to cut. The first strike. "So," Enetio said, her tone dripping with mock sweetness. "You're the woman he chose." Adora swallowed hard. "I don't want trouble." "Oh, trouble." Enetio laughed softly. A laugh too polished to be real. "My dear, trouble is what happens when someone tries to take what belongs to me." Kai stepped forward immediately. "No one belongs to you, Enetio. Leave Adora out of this." But Enetio was not speaking to him. Her eyes were locked on Adora like a hunter watching prey. "Sharks and shoes. You think love is enough?" she asked Adora quietly. "You think kindness can save you in his world?" She moved closer. Too close. Her voice a whisper of venom. "His world is full of sharks. And you're not even wearing shoes." Adora felt something twist in her chest. It wasn't the insult. It was the truth behind the words. Enetio continued, pacing slowly around her like a queen judging a peasant. "There will be pressure. There will be headlines. There will be society women who laugh at you behind designer fans." She leaned forward, her lips near Adora's ear. "And trust me, they will eat you alive." The scariest question. Adora's breath trembled. Not because Enetio was right, but because Enetio touched every fear she had tried to bury. "You can still walk away," Enetio added smoothly. "Save yourself the embarrassment. A woman like me. I was built for this world. A woman like you. You will drown. With that, she turned and walked out, her heels echoing like victory drums. Breaking point. The door closed. Silence rushed in. Adora sat down slowly, her knees weak. Her heart raced like she had run a marathon through her own insecurities. Kai dropped beside her instantly. Don't believe anything she said, he pleaded. You're strong. Stronger than she will ever understand. But Adora didn't look at him. She stared at her hands. The hands that sold food, washed dishes, carried pots, fed strangers. Your world, it scares me, Kai, she whispered. And in that moment Kai felt something shift. He realized that their love was not just fighting. One jealous woman. But status, society, class divides, public judgment. A world that would test them again and again. Adora wasn't just facing competition. She was facing a storm. And Kai, for the first time, felt fear too. Fear that the world he was born into might be the very thing that pulled them apart. Little did they know. The storm was only beginning. For days Adora stayed distant. Not because she no longer loved Kai, but because she feared the world he represented. She went back to her village, returned to her small wooden stall, sold food with a smile that hid her trembling heart. At night she lay awake wondering, can a village girl truly belong in the world of a billionaire? Will I lose myself? Kai visited often, never with his fleet of cars or intimidating security. He came as a man, not as a billionaire. He bought food from her, spoke gently, waited patiently. Still, the fear refused to leave her heart. The moonlit conversation. One quiet evening, Kai arrived alone. No convoy, no cameras, no noise, just him. Walk with me, he asked. They strolled to the riverside, where the water shimmered under the moonlight. Adora, Kai said softly. I know my world scares you. It is loud, complicated, full of expectations I never asked for. He paused, eyes tender. But I won't let that world swallow you. I won't let it change you. I won't let it take your peace. Adora's eyes glistened. I don't want to lose myself, she whispered. Kai took her hands. Then don't. I'm not asking you to change. I fell in love with the woman who fed a stranger under a mango tree, before she knew his name or wealth. That is the woman I want. That is the woman I love. A tear escaped her eye. Kai, your world doesn't accept girls like me. Then we will make space for you, he said firmly. Together. Are you ready to fight everything that comes with loving me? He asked. Adora looked into the same gentle eyes she had first seen on that dusty afternoon. She nodded. Yes, because love, real love, is worth fighting for. Kai exhaled, relieved and emotional. They embraced, holding on to each other like two souls finally finding home. But from the shadows, someone watched. Phone camera recording. A jealous heart beating. Plan forming. The scandal breaks. The next morning the internet exploded. Billionaire Kai Nwachukwu caught kissing village food seller. Who is this mystery local woman? Rumors of secret village romance shake Nigeria's most eligible bachelor. The video spread like wildfire. Adora's once quiet stall became a battleground. People gathered, gossiping, pointing, judging. Some admired. Some were simply curious. Adora's hands shook as she served food. Women whispered loudly. She wants his money. She bewitched him. She's not his class. She tried to hide her tears, but they spilled anyway. Kai fights back. Kai didn't hide. He didn't deny. He didn't run. Instead, he showed up at the market. In broad daylight. Surrounded by reporters. He walked straight to Adora. The cameras clicked. People gasped. Kai, she whispered, terrified. You shouldn't be here. I should be with you, he replied. Then, in front of everyone, he took her hand. My name is Kai Nwachukwu, he said to the cameras. And this is the woman I love. Whoever recorded us, whoever tried to shame her. You failed. Adora froze. Kai squeezed her hand. I am not hiding her. I am not abandoning her. And I will not allow anyone, family, media, or strangers, to destroy what we are building. The crowd fell silent. Adora's fear slowly melted into strength. Meeting the family. Days later, Kai took Adora to meet his parents. His mother was elegant, stern, and cautious. His father was powerful and intimidating. They examined Adora with cold eyes. But she stood tall. She spoke respectfully. She did not pretend to be someone else. Kai watched proudly. By the end of the evening, his mother smiled, a small, reluctant smile. She has a good heart, she told Kai privately. And a good heart is worth more than wealth. Acceptance began. The final test. The person who recorded the video was revealed. A jealous rival who wanted Kai for herself. She tried to spread more lies. But this time, Adora didn't run. She faced the media, standing beside Kai with confidence she never knew she had. And when she spoke, her words shook the hearts of millions. I didn't fall in love with a billionaire. I fell in love with a man who was kind to me when he had nothing to prove. That video went more viral than the scandal. People admired her courage. Women praised her humility. The nation fell in love with their love. A beautiful ending. Months later, under the same mango tree where they first met, Kai knelt on one knee. The wind whispered. The leaves danced. Adora gasped. Adora, he said, voice full of love. I walked into your life hungry. And found the part of myself I didn't know was missing. Will you marry me? Tears streamed down her cheeks. Yes, she whispered. Yes, Kai. I will. He lifted her into his arms as the villagers cheered around them. Billionaire. Food seller. Two hearts that defied the world and won. Love triumphed. Completely. Beautifully. Finally. Moral lesson. Kindness is powerful. Adora fed a stranger without expecting anything in return. And that single act opened the door to love, truth, and a better life. This story reminds us that real love isn't about wealth or status. It's about honesty, compassion, and seeing people for who they truly are. Before you go, if you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to this channel, so you won't miss the next amazing story coming your way. More stories, more lessons, more love.